Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I am your host, Kareem Bowen, and you're going to be with me for the next hour. All right. So I hope that you are indeed excited. I want to thank all of you guys for your continued listenership and for making Straight Talk number one in this last cycle. So we thank you for all that you're doing. My main man, the Rob Father, is in the studio. He is trying to make sure that everything is good. Rob, what's good with you?
I'm good, man. And everything is good.
Everything is good. I came in, my man looked relaxed, no stress, no muss, no fuss. Everything's been going well. Rob, what do you think of this weather?
I love it. It's my weather, And since I knew he was going to crack me by wearing shorts and flip flops today, I decided not to do that just for you.
My man came in with some real jeans on, some real jeans on. All right, so I'm glad that you guys are tuned in. Hopefully, you guys are excited about what we're excited about, and that is another conversation with you. So we're going to get right into the swing of things in just a moment. I got a young man that's going to call in. And Rob, I'm not sure what's going on, but I lost the sound to my headphones. So if we can do something right there and we can make that work, I don't hear myself anymore. Hopefully all is well. Hopefully you can hear me. I pray that you guys are having an okay time being able to hear me here in the studio. I'm sure that you guys are coming in. Thank you for Mozella Bogans, Watkins Bogan. Happy birthday to you. And if I was in my good birthday sound, I would sing you a birthday song. Happy birthday to you. Or should I say belated happy birthday. You always put the belated first. The birthday came one time. You just didn't get the wish out. So belated happy birthday to you. I certainly love you. Hope you got my birthday greeting to you that I sent via video. Donna, Shaw, Jenny Moore. You guys are coming in. Let's tag and share this conversation as we're coming in.
You got a call. I don't know who it is.
All right, we got a call coming in. We're going to take that call real quick. I believe it is the man of the hour, Cap. Jeffrey Bulls, he's calling in to give us an update on Cap. There's some great things that they've been able to do. I saw something, and I was quite impressed by what I saw. So, Jeff, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, Jeff. So good to have you, my man. I know we talk often and we see each other, but you're calling in with some additional information. Community action for the people. Give more power to the people. That's what you're doing with Cap. An organization that you started, you founded and created, and are doing some great work in the community. I just want you to begin. Let's start. I saw something kind of big. I was like, dang, Jeff's the man. I didn't even get invited to this. And my man is hanging out with, U.S. senators and U.S. representatives and all that good stuff. Jeff, tell me a little bit about what was taking place just recently. And I know that it had something to do with water. So let our people know what's going on. Keep us informed.
Well, Dan Kildee, he came to town to announce a huge infrastructure investment into Saginaw. I believe it's 21 million of a bigger package. It's actually 100+ million to Michigan, period, but 21 million specifically to Saginaw. They're going to be building a water tower and some other infrastructure investments here in the city. And we were fortunate as CAP. The Kildee campaign reached out to us. Actually, the White House reached out to us and wanted us.
Look at my man. Actually, the White House reached out to us. Go ahead, man. I ain't mad at you, bro.
Yeah, the White House reached out to us. Shout out to Infrastructure Director Mitch Landrieu. His office reached out to us and wanted us to be a part of the announcement because we had some connections with them. Through our state and national partners, we've been doing a lot of environmental justice work and, we got on their radar. So they wanted us to be a part of it. They knew that we were doing some grassroots work here in the city. And it was great to meet them in person. We were able to sit down with them before the press conference and have a very robust discussion about infrastructure needs here in the city of Saginaw and also some other needs as far as different other, funding that's coming to the city. And we were able to really sit down with them and get a great understanding and build a relationship with them. So it was pretty cool.
Well, Jeff, you have been leading the charge as it relates to keeping the community involved as it relates to the ARPA dollars. I've been the voice on the radio, but you've been the man that has been meeting in communities and making things happen, man. And I certainly thank God that you are on the ground. So I just want to you quickly you touched on something. I think that's important. We have been trying to figure out what to do with $52 million for, what is it, 2 years now? But there are some larger sums of money, some additional large sums of money that are coming into the community. Do you have any idea? Do you have your thumb on the pulse of what those areas are?
Well, mostly infrastructure. A lot of water improvements, sewer improvements, and similar. Dollars coming for those things. We were able to sit down with them and have a talk about what actually, is needed here in the city, and also some of the challenges. We were able to thank them for getting those dollars, because they worked hard to get those dollars and get them to the state of Michigan and to Saginaw. But there are some other challenges too, and we were able to talk to them about those challenges and hopefully get some help with addressing those challenges as well.
Okay, Jeff, I want you to share, because I'll be very honest. You know me, I'm a straight shooter. I love people. I love people who love people, and I love people who are doing things to make other people's lives better. You're one of those individuals. You are my brother. I think I've said that before. Not my biological brother, but my brother in purpose. And I'll tell you, there have been a number of people like, yo, so you're a part of CAP, you're not a part of CAP. And I told them, anybody who is doing something positive, I'm a part of. So I'm not a signed, sealed, delivered member, but I am in line with a number of the things that you guys have been proposing for the community. I want you once again, just share with those people who are listening, because I'm sure some people have no idea what CAP is. Share with them what CAP is.
Well, quite simply, we represent the community. We are an advocate of the community, whether it was ARPA, whether it was the water issues during the pandemic, and any other issues, whether it's environmental, social justice. We're a grassroots organization that simply wants to be the representative of the people, and that's what we've worked hard to do. Any issue that's come up in the community, we've been able to connect with the community. The community has trusted us as being like a trusted partner of the community, and we've been able to step forward and address those concerns with our local government, our state government, county government. It's that simple, and we've created it to be that way. We didn't want it to be complicated. We didn't want it to be a bunch of politics. We just want it to be a conduit between the people and the government.
Well, Jeff, one of the things that's so important, and I think that really assists, is when an organization has credibility. And I know that people have, because you come in with a strong will, with a strong desire, you attack areas that people don't want addressed or things that are uncomfortable. And so, there have been people who have said, hey, what credibility does CAP have? Now, after sitting and being contacted by the White House, working and having meetings with our U.S. representative, our state rep, and I want to thank Amos O'Neill for really reaching out to you and making you a part of that channel. And he was one of the first people when I was a young man coming back to the city that really got me involved in community service. And because of that relationship, I was able to bring over $500,000 into community programs here in the city of Saginaw. So I'm excited about him doing a similar thing with you and you fighting for the people. What do you say now to individuals who say, you know what, CAP needs credibility?
Well, I just let the work speak for itself. I think, we had somebody that questioned our credibility. I know
that, right?
Level.
I know that, right? Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that. Go ahead, bro. Let me stop.
I feel you. I ain't trying to give it much energy, you know what I mean? Because we kind of laughed at it. But, hey, somebody said we didn't have credibility. And literally that same week, we walked out with Representative Kildee and White House representatives, and that kind of crushed that on its own. It spoke for itself. So, we didn't really give it any more, credence or any more air. We just want to let the work, speak for itself.
I love it when a plan comes together. All right. Hey, bro, real quick, just let the folks know who are listening how they can get involved. If they're interested in CAP, where's CAP? How can they get involved? They want to be a part of what's happening in the community. They want to be on the verge of this cutting edge piece that is bringing power to the people. How do they get connected?
They can reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. We have CAP pages on all social media as well. So you can always just shoot us a message. Just let us know what you're thinking. Even if you don't want to be involved, if you just want to tell us about an issue in the community, and that's been our calling card. People reach out to us. They trust us. They say, hey, we tell CAP what's going on. They go fight for us. So that's what we do, man. And we're looking forward to doing way more as the months and the years go by. So just reach out to us on social media. If you have my number, you can reach out to me directly, and we can have a conversation, and we'll take it from there.
So Jeff, you're saying that the CAP is somewhat like what was the name? Remember, Crime Stoppers for the neighborhood. It's Crime Stoppers for the community. If you see something, call in, let them know, and you guys will get involved, begin to investigate, see if there's any merit to it, and if so, then spring into action.
Absolutely. I think, we're privileged because, myself, I work a job that's flexible. Everybody can't run to the city hall or run down and take on issues. They have life to deal with. They have kids, families, jobs. So we count it a blessing and a privilege to be able to step in for the community, step in for the people, and get issues addressed. That's what we're here for.
Well, if I had an applause button, this is where you would hear it right now, Jeff. Thank you so very much for your time and your attention. Your next meeting is when?
Our next meeting, we're actually having we've been so entrenched in the work in this last year and a half. We haven't been able to properly introduce ourselves to the community. So we are now putting together kind of a community mixer, for people to come in and just kind of talk to us and see what we got going on. We're going to have that on November 19th up at the SVRC building. That's where our office is as well. November 19th from 5 to 7 p.m. That'll be our next, public event, just for people to come in and get to, talk to us and get to know us a little bit more. And hopefully, a couple of people maybe, will, connect with us and work with us, and, we can keep this thing going.
So for all of you rebel rousers out there, no, I'm just joking. For all of you community activists, folks who want to see change happen, who want to be a part of the change, because I say if you see something that you need to change, sometimes you need to be the change that you desire to see. Get in touch with Jeff Bulls and Cap and Naisha and all of the others that are part of this great movement where people are actually paying attention to what's going on. Jeff, I want to thank you for stirring the hearts and the minds and the spirits of our community, that people are showing up in places that they haven't before, that they're being aware, that they're making sure that their voice is being heard. Absolutely right, Terry Reed. That's my main man. Even though he's on a weight loss journey, he left me behind. I had to start my own. But Jeff, you're making great things happen in the community. It's so exciting to see. And if you guys are available, once again, that date and time for the meet and greet?
November 19th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at SVRC.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother. You always have a friend here at Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I look forward to see you on the battlefield as we continue the work that needs to be done in the community. God bless you.
Yep. God bless you as well. Let's work.
All right, my man. All right. For those of you that listen, y'all know how we always start the show off, and we have a guest that's going to be calling in today. But you guys know how we like to do this. We always talk about what's on my mind. We're going to start the segment off with a little bit of humor, because I thought this was probably one of the funniest things that I had heard in a long time in terms of politically. It ranks up there, Rob. Do you remember when Elizabeth Warren was saying she was a Native American, this, that, and the other, and the story came out a little bit different? And what was the name? Do you remember the name that Donald Trump gave her?
Pocahontas.
He gave her the name Pocahontas, which, no offense, we understand that the term was derogatory and it was used in a derogatory manner. But it was funny. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I thought it was funny. Like, hey, if you want to be Native American, we're going to call you that. Okay, so I chuckled about that. But I heard something or saw something in the news that I thought was absolutely hilarious. The Prime Minister of Great Britain, Liz Truss, has stepped down after, a week in office?
45 days.
45 days in August in office. Days.
Of course, she's still on until a successor's been chosen.
Yes, but she officially stepped down. She spoke with the now King of England to let her know let him know of her decision.
That's protocol.
Okay, which is protocol. But let me this was what was so funny. I stumbled across. I am a reader. I'm an avid reader. One of my greatest mentors, Bishop Marvin C. Pryor, who kind of pushed me to be the man that I am today, along with other great men. My grandfather was an amazing man, but it was my mentor and former pastor, Bishop Marvin C. Pryor. They used to always tell me, "He who reads leads," and so I've learned to become an avid reader. So I'm reading everything. I'm reading everything. I'm looking at everything. I'm listening to content from Fox News to headline news to British, BBC, everything. I listen to it all. I saw this commentary in a British article where it asked the question, which had the longest shelf life? Which would have the longest shelf life? And this is before the prime minister stepped down. It said, which would have the longest shelf life? This head of lettuce, and it had a head of lettuce that had hair put on it and Great Britain flags, or our Prime Minister Liz Truss. And it did a follow up to this to this little piece. And there's a black brother over in the UK that wrote this. He says, "Well, it's official. Resigning after just 6 weeks, her main nemesis, a head of lettuce, appears to be a big story as Truss falls from power. So what's the story? The lettuce was pit against her." And the Daily Star was the name of the newspaper. It was purchased at a grocery store for 68 cents, but Liz only lasted just above 45 days. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I know that this is not a hilarious, but sometimes you're going to just learn and find places that you can just have a comedic laugh at some things. It's okay to laugh at yourself, but it was funny. But the real reason, Rob, surrounding why she is not having the success that she thought she was going to have, it lies in this whole thing called inflation.
Right.
She made some moves that did not pan out the way that she thought they were. I guess the entire world kind of gasps on some of the things that she did. But she made some moves that made Great Britain has one of the highest rates that are going around. Their interest rates are going crazy. Their inflation is out of the roof,
right,
through the roof, I should say. And so that was one of the reasons why she's being ousted. She was a part of the party that's in power, but then like, no, we don't want you no more. So we're going to get somebody else. When we look at inflation, Robin, I don't know how much you spend at the grocery store. Are you being impacted a lot by inflation? Do you see it? Is it hurting you?
Yes, because I know that I only shop once a month because I live alone.
Oh, so you feel it for real?
No, not really, because well, yes and no. I know, like in 1 month, I could spend $250 for everything that I need. But then again, a lot of things I buy that are consumables, I'll buy in bulk anyway. Other regular consumables that are quickly gone, like meat or whatever it is, I buy all that stuff, and I spend about $250 a month in just groceries alone. I noticed that in the last few months, I spent close to $400.
Wow.
So, and this is at Walmart, between Walmart and Meijer. Meier's price is a little bit higher, but they have a better fruit and vegetable section.
Wow. What's that number? Give our listeners that number, because I would love to hear how.
Call the station?
Yes.
Oh, yes. You can call in 989-921-7107. Make sure your radios are turned down. TV's turned down when you call in.
Yeah, we would really love to hear how this inflation is hitting you. Rob, I'm going to tell you, this is a real deal story, man.
Inflation needs to be more than in the typical non-product products things. Like if I buy a gas, for example. Inflation affects gas and all.
Oh, you ain't gotta tell me that.
Things of that sort. Things that I buy replacement clothing for, like a pack of handkerchiefs, for example, which I go through all the time. I spend a lot of money in that in one place, and not
brother still buy handkerchief, Rob.
I was carrying handkerchiefs with me. I've been doing it since I was a teen.
Rob, man, you the original OG, man.
I'm telling my son to get on that habit too, because you never know when you need one. So and I go through them and they get dirty. I don't like a dingy handkerchief, but anyway, the prices have gone up on that. So, I feel it from time to time. Not as much as those who are families who have to feed a lot of people.
Donna in the stream is saying meat is ridiculous. Another user, I think it's Jay Bulls, he says $40 in gas, that's only half a tank, maybe. I went, I tried to be a good son, and I know my mom wanted to go and she wanted to see the fall color tour. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to be a good son. I took the day, let me just drive on up and we're going to just go up to Charlevoix, Traverse City, do the whole tour. And on Friday we went up and we went to see the colors. Absolutely stunning. I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm not ready for the white stuff, the cold stuff that they bring here to Michigan. But I'm going to tell you that our summers and our falls, I can't, I say that they're not compared to anything. Nothing compares to our summers and our falls. Nowhere in the continental U.S.
No, you haven't been to Maine.
No,
Maine is beautiful.
But Maine does not have, this is the thing, Rob. There are other places that are beautiful, and I know the colors will change, but you don't get that with the backdrop of the beauty, with the lakes and the colors, and just Michigan is pure Michigan. Thank you. I think it was Governor Whitmer who changed it to pure Michigan or whoever. Thank you. Whoever our marketers are, it is absolutely gorgeous. It was such a beautiful scene. We went up to the chateau that I stayed at on last year, and I was just showing it's the height, old Mission Peninsula. Go up there, absolutely in between both bays. It's absolutely gorgeous. A wonderful time. But I'm going to tell you, that gas was kicking my behind. There was a time that we were saying, like, oh my gosh, we're going to be paying $3 in gas. We are paying almost $5 in gas. It's absolutely crazy. I know Sleepy Joe is getting ready to, President Joe Biden is getting ready to open up some of those reserves, but it is not necessarily enough. There you go, Mama. That's what I like. She says, I appreciate your son so much. Great time. Terry Reed out there says, we can tell at the shop they truly have to decide if they should buy a tire or pay a bill. I hate seeing it. And Terry, thank you for all you do. And if y'all need tires, y'all go over and see Terry at Community Auto. He does an amazing job at giving individuals, what they need. And he's looking out for single moms, doing all kinds of things. But y'all go out there and buy some tires for the price that they cost. Everybody can't be getting things for free. My man has to pay bills as well. All right, Sharon, can you put it on the screen, that number? Absolutely, I certainly will.
Let's take a break too.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break in a second. I just want to get some of these comments. Our content director, Yvonne, yes, today was the most beautiful day I have seen anywhere. I'm telling you, Yvonne, they got to get with it. Michigan is not sleeping on this beautiful weather. Once again, that number is 921-7107. I'm putting it in the stream. We would love to hear from you. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more of Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
It started with our voting rights. Next, it was our right to choose. The Republican Paul Young would join
He's not calling. I'm going to tell him to come on in
Social
the stream.
Security and Medicare. Young's record is clear. He even sided with big pharmaceutical companies that gouge prices for prescription drugs. Paul Young's first vote in Congress would be for the Republican leaders who want to hurt mid-Michigan seniors. He opposed capping costs on life-saving drugs like insulin.
Maine.
Now those same Republican leaders are spending millions to prop up Young's campaign.
Yeah.
They know it will be just another vote for their dangerous agenda, all while he ignores all of
It's
us.
gorgeous up there. Yeah.
We have a chance to stop him. Don't be silent. Make your voice heard. Elections matter. Vote. Paid for by House Majority PAC. The HouseMajorityPAC.com. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. House Majority PAC is responsible.
So you think it's
for content.
more beautiful than Michigan at this time of year?
Every day, I bet your floors have shoe grime and pet grime and invisible grime.
Invisible crime?
Yep, the kind of grime that you only notice when you look at your socks.
Ew.
So get Swiffer Sweeper Wet, the cleaning power of a mop with the convenience of a wipe. Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads come prepped with a cleaning solution that traps and locks dirt and grime deep inside the pad. Even dirt and grime you can't see, with a clean floors you want, anytime you want it. Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty wet pads.
That's the sound of a crack in the ceiling found at a home inspection. But with a realtor by your side, a newfound leak might only cause minor worries. With their expertise, a realtor can suggest a credit at closing and even connect you to a contractor to help you shore up that leak and alleviate your worries. When it comes to cracks in your
Did you have a
plans,
caller that called
the
in?
expertise of a realtor can make all the difference. The difference between an agent and a realtor is real. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. That's who we are.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Hey, this is Kareem. We're back with more of Straight Talk. I want to make a correction. Yvonne said this was the most beautiful fall day that she has seen anywhere. And I agree with you. I'm absolutely in love with our beautiful colors, the lakes, the backdrop, the rolling hills, and all those other things. We have. Did you say we have a caller, Rob? All right, we're gonna get into our stream real quick. We have a caller on the line, Rob. Who do we have?
Lane Grill looks like on the phone.
Yeah,
Yes. How are you doing, Elaine?
I'm doing good. I just wanted to say the inflation is going skyrocketing, especially on food. I was in Walmart yesterday and I bought 6 items. The only item we was on sale was the Pepsi mango for $5.48 plus deposit. I had spent $72 and
It,
68 cents.
it is absolutely ridiculous. I went in and I thought I was gonna make some cabbage and some spaghetti and left out of there with all of those fresh ingredients with $150 as the bill. Elaine, we certainly want to thank you for your input and your call. Thank you. Call again another time. Thank you so very much. Also in the stream, we see Sharice Steele Phillips. She says, "Oh, she's talking about the wealth of knowledge." Of course, I would put it in out there because she's talking about a wealth of knowledge. But Sharon Brown Hill is what I was trying to get to. She said that they're having a food distribution on November 15th. I'm assuming she's referring to Victoria's Believers Ministries. They've been trying to do some things as it relates to getting the word out and getting fresh some food out to people in this time. It's rough. So it's time for us all to play a key piece in what's happening. I see that my man is in our green room, and I'm just going to wait for him to come back. I'm waiting for Dwayne Adway. He's going to be coming into our social media stream. Dwayne, if you're hearing me as we are currently talking, I do not see your image. There you go. And if you're ready, you can just give me a thumbs up, and we will bring you in to the stream. D-Way, Dwayne,
what's up, brother?
are you
What's
there?
up, black man?
What's that?
What's up, black man?
What's up, black man? What's up, black man? Back.
What's up, black man? What's up, King?
All right. Dwayne, we have Dwayne Adway here today, and he's here. And we're going to have a big announcement that we're going to make. It's something that we have been talking about for some time. We've kind of gotten together. We've been bumping heads, and we've pulled other entities into the city of Saginaw to make them all a part of what's getting ready to happen. And so, Dwayne, I'm going to do you the honest, because we were brainstorming, but this is your brainchild that had you on. I'm not sure if you were on Straight Talk, if you were in the United States, talking about how it was to break into the industry and the challenges that we as Black men and women have in terms. There's only so many roles that are written for us, right?
Absolutely.
And so you were sharing how to get involved, and you were talking about Amethyst LLC, which is your personal production company, if I'm correct.
Amethyst Films LLC.
Amethyst Films LLC, and you have an announcement that we're going to have here. So I want you to go ahead and you just take the lead. You share with us what you want to say.
Okay, coming in next summer, projected in July, Kareem and I have collaborated to bring to Saginaw a short film festival that's going to be hosted right now, anticipated at the Temple Theater, correct? Yeah. At the Temple Theater, correct?
Yes, Temple Theater.
Okay, the Temple Theater. So it's a short film. It's a competition. It's not really a competition, more so than giving exposure to local filmmakers who film a 15-minute short film that is going to be showcased in the film festival at the Temple Theater this summer. Red carpet event. We're going to put together probably some celebrity judges, and we're looking for all filmmakers throughout the state of Michigan to submit to daentertainment@yahoo.com. That's daentertainment@yahoo.com. Short film, no longer than 15 to 20 minutes, any genre. It can be any genre. And upon selection, we're going to select the 10 top films, and there's going to be a winner. And we're trying to put together now what that winner will receive. But the more important thing is bringing exposure to young filmmakers or new filmmakers who just don't have the exposure. So let's get these films in. Let's get them in early. And just I look forward, Kareem looks forward, and our team look forward to looking at your material and making you a part of this first annual short film festival in Saginaw.
Oh, well, you heard it right there, and I'm not sure. I'm having some issues hearing you clearly, Dwayne. But so I'm going to repeat what you said. I don't see anybody complaining. Normally, they jump right in and say, "Hey, we can't hear what he said." But he's announced that he is going to be hosting Saginaw's first short film festival. It's going to be a film festival here in the city of Saginaw. So all of you creators of content, you writers, you directors, you videographers, all of you cinematographers, everyone that is out there that has a creative eye, that believes that they can do this thing called produce a movie, this is your opportunity. It's going to take place in June of 2023. And Dwayne, I'm going to tell you what got me excited. You sent me today the first movie
Ooh.
that you received.
It was tight, huh?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It was fire.
They're not playing. They're not playing out here for real. It's terrible.
They're not playing at all. And the thing is, we always talk about Tyler Perry and what Tyler does, and how successful he's been, but he's had to start somewhere. And Dwayne, I thank you for bringing a piece of Hollywood. I always call you our Hollywood plug. You're the Hollywood Connect. You've been able to sustain yourself with the life out there, working on films, and starting off the small parts. But I think that when you got that Dennis Rodman movie doing the lead, it opened up so many doors for you. So why don't you share a little bit about your break-in into the industry?
Started out in the industry as an actor. Got fortunate enough to do some quality, great roles, such as the Dennis Rodman Story, Soul Plane, Into the Blue, various TV shows such as Girlfriend, Steve Harvey, CSI Miami, CSI. I'll stop there because anything else is braggadocious. So I'm a humble guy. But I started out as an actor, but the thing was, I just decided at some point where I didn't see the roles coming that were really satisfying the narrative that I wanted to use my platform for. So I was like, let me create a banner. Let me create content or create a vehicle there where I can get content out there that I'm passionate about, tell the stories that I want to tell. And so I started this production company about 3 years ago, and from the ground up, outside of the studio system. And I'm just looking to bring it home to Saginaw, to see that the filmmakers here get some exposure. And who knows, because Hollywood is always looking for new talent, new writers, new directors, new actresses, actors. So this is your shot. I said it again, this is your shot to tap in to Hollywood. So use this platform as a vehicle of telling stories and getting exposed and letting Hollywood see what you can do.
And I just want to make sure people understand we're not running some gimmick here. We're not putting, we're going to give you a shot. We're going to, come on. Both of our credibilities is more important than that. We are putting together something that is absolutely amazing. He's working with his connects. I'm working with mine. We now have, and I hope I don't get in trouble for releasing this too soon, but I've been meeting with the Temple. The Temple is now fully on board with this program. This is going to happen. And we're looking to do this as a part of the Juneteenth celebration. We have been so involved and enthralled in music and entertainment, and many people that are out there. I've talked to so many young people, Brandon Webb and Don Bivens Jr., who are out there who have a desire of doing entertainment, putting together, videos and movies. And so I'm excited that we can be a part of what's getting ready to happen. Dwayne, why don't you share with folks? I know the opportunity is there, and I'm going to throw the website up there so folks can get that again. But I want you to share with our listeners what they might expect, because when you're coming back with this, you're looking for people to help with this whole thing take place. And not only that, but you have something in mind that you're doing yourself. Why don't you share?
Well, I'm going to do a film in Saginaw as well, but it's not going to be a part of the film festival. But so what I'm going to do is I'm looking at coming back to Saginaw, doing a full-length feature. So that's in the early stages and the pre-production stages of it. But the first thing first is I want to bring back exposure to filmmakers. So filmmakers in Flint, filmmakers in Detroit, filmmakers in Grand Rapids, filmmakers in Alpena, Benton Harbor, Kalamazoo. We're looking to see films, short films with great content for our film festival.
And so we will be putting up those posters. You'll see posters we'll be talking about on the radio. I really want this to be something that we can tout as this amazing opportunity that we're bringing to the city of Saginaw. And I'm going to tell you, I just want to refer once again to the link that you sent me to our first video that has been subscribed. It is absolutely amazing, the talent here in Michigan in this space. And so don't sleep. Many of you thought, and I'll say this as a kid growing up, I always wanted to be a film writer, not necessarily an actor or things, but a film writer in Hollywood. And I'm looking at and Dwayne Adway as somebody that's here that is doing what my dream was. And now there's an opportunity not only for myself, but for others that are there to get exposed, get your feet wet, dip them in to the entertainment waters. And this is a great opportunity to do it, not only just for the filmmaker, but you got to think if you're an actor or if you're an actress and you want to get involved, this is a great, hey, let somebody that that's going to be doing a project say, hey, I'd love to be a part of this. And then you can use that for your own body of work. This is an opportunity in many areas to get exposed. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Absolutely. Because it is an opportunity for you to create your own content so you can get the visibility that you need as an actress, as an actor, as a director, as a writer, because produced content, there is no substitute. That's you taking the reins and making it happen for yourself. Because one thing about Hollywood loves people who help themselves before they're looking for Hollywood to help them. So I'll say that again. Hollywood, the way Hollywood works is they're more likely to work with someone who's already started their career as opposed to looking for an opportunity to start their career.
And so actually that's how Tyler Perry got to where he was.
Exactly.
He said, listen, I can't find anybody to do for me, so I'm going to start these plays. They were the most bootleg, ghetto, fabulous plays that you had ever seen. Many times we refer to as Chitlin Circuit. They were some bootleg plays.
Right.
But they were things that we could relate to, things that we could see ourselves in, and things that were a part of our community. And we made those plays famous. And he used that, as you said, Dwayne, as an avenue for him to be able to leverage some things that he wanted to do in the community.
Absolutely. Because like you said, you got to start from somewhere. So this is an opportunity for filmmakers to have their work shown. And it's a way for them to create content so they can have a reel to show their work.
So this is, once again, I'm just going to give you that information. Dwayne, I want to thank you for being here for this announcement. There are other people that are in the community that are happening, that are connected to what we're doing. And so I'm excited about this. It's the Saginaw Film Festival to take place in June 2023. This is Amethyst Films, LLC, your guy, Saginaw's own, Saginaw's home, the Hollywood plug, Dwayne Adway. That email address is daentertainment@yahoo.com. When you get those films together, we want you to submit the links or whatever you need to do in order to get that content to him, and you'll be submitted into that process. We'll make sure that you know that you have been accepted into the process. Films that are 12 or 15 to 20 minutes at max, we want them. So let's make sure you put all the individuals who are involved, the writers, the producers, the actors. Let's get everybody their accolades so that we can begin to do something amazing in the city of Saginaw. All right, last one. Is there anything that you'd like to say? Go ahead.
Let me say one last thing, Kareem. Any genre. It can be horror, comedy, drama, sci-fi. We're looking for it all. So I'm saying to Michiganders, stand up, take control, submit your short films, and we're going to look at all the short films. And even the short films that don't make it as the last 10, we're still going to invite you out to be a part of the festival. And who knows what's going to happen between now and then. So stand up, Michigan, and go vote.
Stand up.
And make sure you go vote at the polls.
All right, I should give you a whole another show just to talk about voting at the polls. But Dwayne, I want to thank you for your time and your attention. I look forward to working with you and making great things happen here in the city of Saginaw as we bring Saginaw's first film festival. God bless you, my brother. Grace and peace.
Much love.
All right. So that is the Saginaw Film Festival. It's going to take place, y'all. This is going to be hype. I'm telling you. You know, those of you who know me know I like to do things and I like to do things well. Dwayne has that same spirit. We've also been working and talking. I had some conversation even today with Don Bivens. Y'all saw how this brother put together one of the most dynamic concerts in a very long time. He used the space of Victoria's Believers Ministries, packed it out with all of the individuals, the artists that came. Leandra Johnson was the lead, but we're looking at bringing Hollywood to Saginaw. It is going to be awesome. It's going to be a red tie affair. A black tie affair. I said red tie. I meant red carpet. Black tie affair, red carpet. We're going to have a great opportunity to show and to be a part of what's taking place. We don't get these opportunities often, but we're going to make this one count. I want to thank all of my great friends over at the Temple, those individuals that are making this happen. My guy, Mark Bassett, who is not ceasing to move. He is moving and making things happen in our community. And so you guys stick and stay. We want you to be in tune and a part of what's getting ready to happen. Now I'm going to get back to what's on my mind. I wanted to make sure that we got him in here today. So those of you here, I know a lot of you guys are familiar with TikTok by now. The reason I know that is because we got old people on TikTok. Whenever you get old people on TikTok, you know that it has saturated the market and it is actually here. But I wanted to talk really quick about TikTok because I was having a conversation. I'm a part of a group of African-American brothers across the country that get together and we meet. Rob, I want to invite you to that group because all we do is we talk about what's going on in our world, our opinions, our thoughts, and our feelings on things, just to get a gauge of what's happening across the country. And these guys are from Texas, from DC, from LA, from all over the place. And we were having this discussion and the conversation about TikTok came up. And many of you don't understand how these social media platforms work, but the owner of TikTok, which was ByteDance, I believe is what it's called, they used, and this was just something that came out and came to the awareness of the U.S. government, they used an app on millions of phones to push pro-China messages to folks. This is what a whistleblower was saying. Well, so that means that they're pushing these pro-China messages out to American citizens. And there was a whole debate and issue with TikTok before the owners of it, because they were seen as being able or being desirous of tracking and spying not on Chinese, but on the Americans. And now we have so many Americans that are running to this platform. And my question to those of you who are listening, how much is enough? We always talk about freedom of speech and expression and all those things. That's great. But at what point do we allow social media to put us in places that are dangerous? And, this new influencer, Rob, I don't know if you know, but everyone wants to be an influencer. Every young person thinks that they're going to get 100,000 views and become famous overnight. And the sad thing is that we as adults, we cannot say that this is not possible because many young people have dreams to be professional athletes. Some of them want to be actors and entertainers, and they can do those. And there are people literally making millions of dollars as influencers on TikTok, Rob. So how far is enough? You're a military guy. Let me know what's going on.
I'm also 62 years old, so I'm a man of my generation. And when I grew up, you just don't put all your business out there. And when you say influencer, I still laugh at the term influencer because you're only influenced if you're allowed to be influenced. So in other words, if you call yourself an influencer and I call you an influencer, I'm allowing you to influence me on what I'm going to do with my life or whatever direction I'm going to go. I would never give anyone that much attention on it. However, I can't take away from those people who are influencing other people to do certain other things and encouraging them in a positive light. Some things are negative, some things are positive. But You
know what's crazy, Rob, is, and we cannot take this away. There is a young African guy. I cannot remember what his name is at the time, but he is the highest followed individual on TikTok. I think he has somewhere almost 100 million people who follow his content. That means that when he produces or he puts something up on social media, there's 100 million, not 100,000, 100 million.
That means that whatever product's put out there is good for everybody that's following him.
For all the clicks and likes. And so he's monetizing it, and he's making millions of dollars on putting content up. Now, I'm going to be very honest. These young people have been able to do something that many huge marketing and advertising companies haven't been able to do.
Right.
And that's to be able to be so connected to those who are out there in the consuming pool,
actually,
that they're able to create content that people are actually following.
Exactly. And the marketing is taking cues from the young people who are using TikTok, because you see a lot of your commercials of that based on TikTok formats and whatnot. So a lot of your marketing is copying a lot of that and using that to move forward on.
Well, I just want to know, when are they going to pull the plug on TikTok? Y'all got to get ready, because if this is the case, I know that there was a desire for an American company to buy TikTok. I don't think that's happened quite yet. But if there are governments that are using and creating content, and I'll tell you, the Chinese and the Japanese are masters at creating technology and these types of platforms. We've got to begin to understand that at some point, there's going to be a need to pull back on some of this, because as you said, Rob, speaking from a nation perspective, we can't put all our dirty laundry out there. We can't air all our dirty laundry.
But then there's something about society I've noticed too over the years. I haven't been under the rock. I've noticed that whenever you squash something better is going to come up to replace it.
Absolutely.
Just like Facebook's got to watch out, because there are things coming around that's going to replace Facebook.
What's Facebook? You mean Meta?
No, not Meta.
I'm messing with you.
There are platforms, social media platforms, that are going to surpass Facebook.
And they're happening. I want to get to some other stories that are out there, but I do want to make this note, especially when it's going to come to helping people with getting food. New Covenant Christian Center, located at 2395 South Outer Drive. We'll be having that's my good guy, Pastor Frierson, having a drive-through food and personal items giveaway Tuesday, October 25th from 12 to 2 p.m. If I'm not mistaken, October 25th, that would be Tuesday. Is that correct, Rob? Today's the 23rd, so October 25th. Yep, from 2 to 12 p.m. All are welcome. Let's get out there. Let's make sure. And some of y'all just like to go get free stuff. And let me tell you about yourselves.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No. There is something wrong with that, especially in the season that we're in. Yeah. I know there's some people that if you say they got a box of Twinkies, they're going to come get your box of Twinkies. If you say you got a box of wrenches, they going to come. Same people. And I hope that we understand that we're moving into a place and I need y'all people to be real smart about what's going on. If you're paying attention and you're paying attention to the signs of what's happening, gas prices are going through the roof. Housing prices are slowing down. This is all an intentional part of what they're doing with these interest rates, is to try to slow the economy. But the problem with the housing situation is this, Rob, ain't no more houses out there. There aren't any more houses out there, so they can drive the prices up of a house. So what that does in turn is it allows renters to increase the value on rental properties. Right. And so we're putting ourselves in a very dangerous place. And so we're going to see how this falls out. But eating is a priority. Having the medications you need are a priority. Now, this is not a pandemic thing. They're talking about putting more money into the economy. And I said when Trump started writing them checks, y'all go back and get those checks with Donald Trump's signature on them. I said that inflation, if you remember, Rob, I said, how are we going to deal with giving all the millions of dollars of money, billions of dollars? Inflation is going to play a part. Now we are having to go back and deal with what happens when you get free money from the government. So Sister Sharon just said she will be helping them that day. Thank you so very much. She's talking about New Covenant Christian Center. Once again, 2395 South Outer Drive. That's on Tuesday from 12 to 2 p.m. They have food and personal items. Mr. Moore says they need to stop if you need to go. If you need, go. But if you don't, stay home. Let the people who need. Absolutely. Let's make sure we're looking out for those who most need in our community. Let's not be the yum. I call them yum eat 'em ups. They're gonna take everything you throw out there, and you see them everywhere. Come on, you know you don't need it. You got a refrigerator full of food at home, and you're just trying to get it. Shame on you. But it's time for us to live. And I say this all the time. We're getting back to village living. And that means that we've got to look out for each other. We've got to check in on one another. We've got to make sure that we are taking care of one another. We're our village elders, telling them, cut it out. Tell them to stop. Say, I keep seeing you in this line, and I know you don't need this food. Y'all need to point them out. Y'all don't do like I do. I'll tell them, like, baby, we thank you for coming, but you don't. If you don't need this food, leave it here.
It's not going to happen because, as we talked about earlier, prices in the markets are going up. People will do what they can because we're all talking about survival of the fittest here.
Well, let's make sure that you are trying to survive and you're not just trying to be greedy. You know, it's like the toilet paper thing with the pandemic. I went to some people's houses and they were bragging, you know, I'm at my last 4 rolls of toilet paper, and you got people that got toilet paper. I'm like, what are you planning on doing? Like toilet paper somebody's house for the next 10 years? We get in these states where we start thinking of ourselves, and that's one of the problems. That is not a characteristic that the village has typically had.
Right.
But it is characteristics of other folks and their communities that we don't need and don't serve us well.
What the village used to do is that you had people who knew how to cook and had major cookouts, brought a plate of food over to every house that needed something like that, and brought food over. I mean, Thanksgiving was really when you brought things over to someone else's house and gave them food. It was no charge, or we have to make the food all together. The whole community was looking out for one another. We didn't go to the supermarket to buy sweet potato pie or anything like that.
Can we have, you think we could have a community fall block party? I mean, is this something that we could do? I mean, come on, y'all. I mean, before the snow sets in, is it possible for us to make some sweet potato pies and somebody put some, you know, some deep fried turkey legs in, and everybody potluck? Now, y'all may not want to eat. Y'all may not want to eat everybody's food, but it would be such a great thing. Terry from Community Auto, this is definitely something that is in your vein. I think that we just gotta begin to change the narrative and create opportunities for us to get together, for our children to see the importance of fellowshipping and being neighborly and connecting with each other.
That's where I got mine from. I watched my mom, my foster mother, Helen Tucker. She had enough food in the spare refrigerator and in the refrigerator on the main floor. She said, anybody in the neighborhood that wanted to get something, a plate of food,
come get it.
Come get it. And
That's
if
right.
you did come and get it, if she offered it to you or she advertised it in such a way and you didn't come get it, that was on you. Everybody came through here. The whole neighborhood, chances looked out for one another. We don't do that.
And then she was gonna make sure you took a plate home.
She made sure you took a plate home. She said, "That's not enough food in your plate. Take some more."
And we ain't gonna talk about the holidays coming up. You know, you got them family members that don't bring nothing to bring taking plates. I'm gonna leave that alone today.
Okay. That's okay.
No, it ain't.
I'm saying,
because that aunt knows that everybody was supposed to pitch in, and she just don't pitch in, but she take 12 plates home.
But the women got together. The men went out there and did the hard work, brought the food in. The women could cut it up and whatnot. I mean, your mother knows about this, like my mom knows about it. So you know,
I'm gonna get back to what we talked about on this show because Rob didn't take me on a whole tangent. I want to really inject something really quickly, sure. And we won't. I just want to talk about this, and this is a real conversation. There are 2 things that I had listed that I really wanted to talk about, and we're going to talk about voter apathy on next week. On next week's show, we're going to talk about voter apathy, and I had a conversation with those same brothers, and you know, they were talking about that they weren't voting. And I was asking the question, like, yo, bro, like, what do you mean you're not voting? And they were like, we're not going to vote, man, because they're going to do what they want to do anyways. And this is the thing that I want to say, my dear people, family, this is what I want to say to you. I understand how you can be apathetic toward voting. I said in 2020, Rob, what was the number one thing that I wanted to see take place? The thing that was promised for every Black in America, that there would be voting rights legislation. Mm-hmm. Joe Biden, he was elected because there was one South Carolina congressman that stood up and says, listen, Joe knows us and we know Joe. His entire campaign was stuck in the mud, stuck in a rut like Chuck, as I often say. And he was going nowhere. He was losing, and he needed a victory. And that congressman spoke on his behalf. He won South Carolina, and it began to put together a string of votes because people believe maybe this old dude can win. We are now going into a play, and this is the issue. So the issue that was supposed to be passed was a voting rights legislation because immediately we understood that there was a lot of things that were under attack. And what you all don't recognize, those of you who are not willing to vote, is that
they voted already.
What'd you say?
They voted already.
Yeah, no, they're voting already. And those of you who saying that you don't want to vote, what you don't recognize is this: they're hoping that you don't vote.
But they voted already by not voting. That's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying, Rob,
okay.
I understand the philosophical point you're making. Yeah. But what I need you to understand, and it's more than just not voting, you not voting. It's about the fact that you need to understand that we work, and the only way that a democracy works is that when everybody understands the power of their voice. And your vote is not just a piece of paper, but it is your voice in ballot form that you're putting on a piece of paper saying that this is what I believe. And I'm a firm believer that we do live in a country where democracy wins. And even when we see the great steal that tried to take place and the repercussions, there are people who are on the other side who are willing to fight and to do all manner of evil to make sure that their vote is counted, to make sure that their voice is being heard. And what does it take for us as a people, for individuals who have been willing, and somebody, I said, lay down their lives so much that they were murdered. Yes, but they understood that murder, being killed, was a possibility of the outcome. And they were willing to make the sacrifice to go out and vote. And I'm not trying to throw anything on you. I'm just simply saying that we need you to be a part of this coalition. We got to get out of that situation. I understand, because I'm a brother that's mad as all get up. But what you got to get mad is not at the process, but you got to get mad at folks in our community who are not rebuilding and rebranding our community, who are not coming into our community and putting together platforms and ways that we can educate people to get into the voting process. We need our elders. Gary Lawson, I'm going to start calling you out. Those who are smart, who understand how politics works. I want to say, Amos O'Neill, I want to thank you. I'm glad you're going back to our Michigan Congress. And I'm saying that by faith. I don't know if you're being opposed. I haven't seen that yet. I don't think that you are. But the fact of the matter is you are 95th representative, and you probably are. I'm sure somebody wants your seat. A Republican does, at least. But what I'm saying is that we need to get out and vote. But I love what you did by empowering those young people at the Community Action for the People, by bringing them into the process, allowing them to sit at the table and understand what's going on, allowing them to see what is at stake. For so long, we've had only certain organizations that would bring their children. The NAACP. I'm glad at what the NAACP. I'm glad for what Terry Pruitt and Mr. Pugh are doing. But they would bring their kids in, get their kids involved, and their kids would become the next people who would do it. And it would be a system of a certain group of people who were continually. We need some individuals who understand that our community needs to understand this process. We are still lost about what's going on. And next week, and I'm probably a week too late, we'll talk about these proposals. I want you to know which proposals they are. I've seen a number of you in the community street saying, hey, Pastor, we need to know what's going on with these proposals. What are we doing? What do we vote something on? I got something in the mail in my community saying vote no on all of these proposals. No. And I kind of almost feel like it's the absolute opposite. Vote yes and on these things. And so I want to make sure the reason why we do this show is to make sure that you know what is happening at a grassroots level in our community. I'm going to give it to you straight, no filter, no chaser. I want to make sure that you are empowered and inspired to do great things. That's why Dwayne Adway was there. I don't only want to speak to your fears. I don't want to speak to your the things that are necessary, but I want to speak to your dreams. And we've got to be able to do all of those things at one time as a community. I certainly hope that as we continue to move forward, that not only do you vote, those who are voting early, let's try to get those individuals who have chronically not voted. If they're registered, let's get them registering, voting early. It's a lot easier process, fewer lines. They're more apt to do so. Let's move, let's build a coalition. Because I'm going to tell you what needs to happen. What needs to happen is that we need to stop depending on the Democratic and the Republican parties to do our bidding, because neither of those parties, and I'm saying this with boldness, because the Democratic Party over this last election cycle has shown us that Black folks mean nothing to them. Because the thing that is most important to us is securing and making sure that we have the right to vote. And so, yes, somebody says, well, it's just the lesser of two evils. We'll choose the lesser of two evils until we can begin to produce something different. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. And as always, send me the information where people can get food, where people can get clothes. Toys for Tots is happening in Riverview Plaza. Get over there, give out some toys for some kids in the community. Let's take care of ourselves. It's time for us to become self-sufficient as a community. Laura Jones, you are out there making great things happen. I see you with your Amazon trucks. I see you employing people in the community. You're a Gold Star agent of the day today. I want to thank you for all you're doing. For everyone that's out there, God bless you all. Love you. God bless you. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS